Hello and welcome back to David's Garage. You'll see behind me a 1976 BMW 2002. It's sunny out here, the snow is melting, and I just had to pull out and clean it. It hasn't been cleaned in about 20 years, so it definitely needed it, and I'm pretty impressed. It looks really good. That tiger green is such an awesome color. There's a few issues though. It's got some rust, got some scratches. It'll definitely need a polish, and the rust I think I'll leave for now and just enjoy it, but I've owned a few of these cars now, and well, I am a little bit biased because I absolutely love them, but I figured I'd make a short buyer's guide. They're super sweet cars. They're fun to drive. Mechanically, they're good. They do have rust issues, but we'll go through all that, and hopefully I can educate you on your 2002 purchase. All right, so what you're looking at is a 1976 2002 in Taiga Green. This is a North American version with the big bumpers. This car is actually pretty cool. It's got some upgrades, and originally it had a sunroof, which, yeah, it's a cool option. That I love sunroofs. But yeah, if you're looking to buy one and you've never owned one, and you want to know what they're like to drive, they're awesome little cars. They're quite handy. You'll notice the front wheel, it's kind of, well, the bumper makes it a little deceiving, but the front wheel is very much in the front of the car. It's almost at the corner actually, and that makes for an awesome handling. You can just dive in any corner and the front follows. It's similar handling to a Mini, believe it or not, for a rear-wheel drive car. You just dive and yeah, the back kind of follows. But yeah, they're great little cars. The wind noise is not bad at all either. These vent windows are such a nice little feature. You can, well yeah, I'll just open it up. So these vent windows just, you turn the knob and then they just spin open. Now you can actually spin them open more than 90 degrees. And yeah, of course that makes, adds for a few bugs inside the car. But yeah, it's great. It's early air conditioning, but it works good. Then you open up the pop-out windows in the back and the airflow is nice. They're really great cars. I mean, I love the interior. Of course, you get the kind of a fishbowl, fairly slim pillars and lots of glass. Makes for great visibility. This actually has Recaro seats. The original seats are kind of meh. They're just a little bench seat, pretty much. But these seats are, yeah, a nice upgrade. And then, of course, the Momo wheels, kind of a nice upgrade. The stock steering wheel isn't that fancy or nice. So, yeah. So mechanically, these cars seem to be pretty bulletproof. It's an inline-4, single overhead cam, and the normal ones produce, yeah, I think it's around 100 horse for 2002 and 80 for a 1602. This one actually has a TII motor, which, yeah, it should produce around 130 if it's a healthy motor. But yeah, they're bulletproof. They do have head gasket issues, I guess, some models, but I haven't come across that. And it's nice, like the parts and stuff for these cars are cheap, and there's tons available. There's tons of upgrades, of course. These are 4x100 wheels, and the early Volkswagens, and of course BMW E30s and stuff. It's all the same pattern, so you can get some pretty sweet wheels. These are actually 13-inch. They look pretty cool, kind of a period mesh wheel. But kind of the big thing for these cars is rust. Now, any old car rusts, but these, well, these do a good job at it. They are very, very good at rusting. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of them have deceased. So where's the rust issues? The nose is kind of a V. You can see it's a pretty sharp slant, but the inside panel, I don't know if we can focus on that, but it just collects dirt and stuff, and then they rot out. So if you see a little bit of bubbling here, that is basically from the inside out. I think there is a little bit of bubbling actually, maybe. But yeah, that means there's a little bit more rust. And even with the rockers too, they rot from the inside out. So you can see there's a little bit of rust on this car. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot more rust underneath. But this car is actually a pretty solid example. The fenders too, you notice a little bit of bubbling here. That's a pretty common issue as well. this just starts splitting from the inside out. And yeah, new fenders are fairly easy to find and they're relatively cheap, so it's worth it just to get a new fender, because they also rust by the turn signal housing. Kind of dirt gets like up in behind and over top, and that just rots it out. This whole area kind of rusts actually. And then yeah, like the hood seams and stuff as well. Of course, your door seams rust. So you can look, here's usually a common kind of the door corner. It's a common spot. Otherwise, the interior and like the floors actually always seem to be really solid. Just in the corner though, that is where they go. So I don't know if this will focus either, but there's kind of this like almost jacking point thing, and it just collects dirt and rusts. My floor rust repair video on the 2002 Tii shows what I mean. And yeah, kind of the rear subframe mount rusts here as well. Flares sometimes rust out. Here is kind of a common spot as well. This car has kind of all the signature spots just starting, and then the main killer for 2002s is of course these rear shock towers. This one is, yeah, it's starting. This is also something that rusts from the inside out. The other sides actually look really solid. But yeah, if you see a little bit of rust, like even up to here, it's probably like you'd have to cut out a huge area just to fix this. I had to fix that on my 72. It's not a crazy big deal, but yeah, it's a bit of a big job. And that's kind of, I mean, that's kind of it for rust. There's not really any hidden rust on these cars, which is nice. And what I mean by that is on E9s, which I'm going to make a short video about, they rust and you don't even know it's there, which is not fun. Sometimes the 2002s actually rust here. You'll see rust coming out, but yeah, most of them actually seem to be pretty good. So yeah, other than rust, I mean, what other issues these cars have is fairly minimal. The electronics seem to work great. I mean, it's pretty darn simple, but I haven't really had any issues with it on any of my cars. The blinker light is sometimes kind of funky with in the dash, but the actual blinkers I've never had an issue with. And then of course, most of these cars need the heater and stuff rebuilt. The window winders are kind of weak, so if you feel them getting a little hard to move, it's time to take them apart and grease them, or they will shear. And then, yeah, then you don't have any windows, and they just basically fall down. Of course, the dash is cracked. I'm super lucky with this car. It has a crack-free dash. It's awesome. But yeah, that's, I mean, that's pretty much it. They're honestly, they're really great cars. And that's why maybe I'm obsessed with them, but it seems like most people I've met or bumped into who have owned one have owned multiple. They are they're kind of an addicting little car, and they look great. I mean, they're just such a cool car. It's definitely the best entry-level classic car you can get. They're just, yeah, they're so cool. But yeah, let me know what you think. I mean, yeah, it's kind of maybe a quick video, but this car I should be getting going for the summer soon enough. It needs brakes rebuilt, needs the suspension gone through. It looks quite good, but yeah, it hasn't been on the road in over 20 years, so it just needs a really thorough going through. It runs great. It's got a dogleg 5-speed, which is an interesting upgrade. So that means first is left and back, which is kind of interesting. And it's a close ratio box. That's another thing too with these cars. You kind of need a 5-speed. And basically the reason for that is they just rev. You need the overdrive. They'll rev at like 4,000, 4,500 on the highway, and yeah, the 5-speed fixes that. And it's an easy swap. There's the parts are available. That's the great thing about these cars too, is everything is available. Look at the shadow right there. All the chickens are going in the background. Yeah, good car. I guess, yeah, subscribe to see more of this thing. I hope to be doing, yeah, some road trips and stuff and fixing it up, doing little project videos on it. So yeah, stay tuned. I don't know what my dog's doing over there.